good evening, Facebook, YouTube. Tonight we got Brother Walker with us.
Hey, good
The
evening,
the
everybody. How
the
you
the,
doing tonight?
the little guy is a little tired right now.
Right.
The little guy works a numerous amount of hours. So we were on the phone for about 4 hours. So I know he's kind of exhausted. Hopefully he might pop in and peek his face out. So Brother Walker's joining us tonight, and Brother
Hey,
Walker,
what's going on?
we're
What's
in week
going on?
nine. Week nine, Brother Walker.
Week
Week
nine,
nine.
week nine. This season's going by pretty fast,
It's
man.
going by fast. You kind of use it as a deflection from all the stuff going on in the world,
Right,
and
that's it. That's it.
the next thing you know,
It's week
it's
10.
playoffs, Super Bowl, and now we figuring out how to get through COVID for the third or fourth, fifth wave, or whatever wave. And now the season over, and we were hoping for football to come back. So,
That's
Craig,
it.
we're just going to just fly through the games because I know we got a doozy coming up at 8:20.
Okay.
But the first game is Broncos Falcons, man.
Uh,
Raheem, man.
he's doing a good job, and they seem like a different team since he's taken over. They was up big, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you saw the Broncos creeping back in, and it was like a one-score game at the end of the game. But the Falcons are playing very well right now.
I, I said I said earlier to Dwayne, I didn't know, you kind of don't know who to pick with these games because you don't know
Right,
where they're at. But one of the
right,
things that Arthur Blank did, he empowered Raheem with being able to find Tack McKinley for Tack McKinley being so unhappy and blasting the organization. I mean, I get where Tack McKinley's saying he feels a certain way about the team, but at the end of the day, you're still an employee and you can't talk about your employer
right.
negatively in public. So I think that Raheem might have a chance, man, to catch on. He's definitely rallying the troops, and it's amazing because it's like, why not give Raheem Morris a chance?
I know, and it just seems like Matt Ryan and Julio Jones getting healthier. You got Todd Gurley scoring touchdowns. I know Ridley's hurt, right, with his foot, I think, if
Yeah,
I'm not
Ridley was
mistaken.
hurt.
But they're playing. They're putting points on the board too. Now, if you notice, they putting a lot. They putting some points on the board. They're playing good football right now.
It's kind of amazing because if you look at them, if you allow Raheem in a year or you allow Raheem like a 3 year deal, 4 year deal, and allow him to bring that defense down here because he's a good defensive coach.
Right,
It's just he needs to he didn't really get a fair shot in Tampa with
right.
that ownership situation going crazy. Maybe if he get a chance in Atlanta, maybe he could do something. Hopefully it happens.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
next game
Oh,
is your dark horse, Craig.
the Buffalo Bills.
Your dark
Yes.
horse, man. Buffalo, Seattle, man. And I know that you we during our pre NFL thing that you was like watch out for Buffalo.
Right.
And they scoring points, man. This guy's throwing the ball, Phil, and quietly he's not going to get MVP this year, but quietly the quarterback is really doing his numbers, man.
I think he had another year in the system, and he's really throwing the ball. He's just not a runner no more. He put it up for over 400 yards today, and then I think with the acquisition of Diggs, it's really helped that offense. They play good ball today. They 7-2 right now.
Yeah,
Only two losses were to Kansas City, and I forgot who else they lost to.
I can't remember offhand either.
Yeah, but Buffalo's playing. They playing
I
great
know
ball.
that you had. I know that you a couple weeks ago you wanted to speak on the coach, how quietly he's a good coach up there,
Oh,
McDermott. Yeah,
Sean McDermott, and I mean he put his defensive imprint on the team with Leslie Frazier. He's allowing his offense, to do what they need to do. They putting up points this year. That's very important. 44 points today. I know Seattle don't have a great defense. They had two interceptions of Russell Wilson, and and today in the new age of football, unfortunately, defenses are going to other teams are going to put points up on just the way offenses are played and that so far advanced.
yeah.
So
It's kind of crazy because it's like if your defense can hold a team under 24,
right,
that's considered a good defense
the good
nowadays.
defense, right, right.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you got to outscore somebody and just
yeah,
hope to get stops.
yeah.
So
We got the Ravens after a big loss last week to the Steelers. They came back and beat the Colts in a 24-10 game.
yeah,
Des Bryant made his appearance today.
yeah, I see that. Um, um, Baltimore had a big. They was down 7-0. They had a big. I think it was a fumble recovery for a touchdown,
Yeah,
and in the second half, I think they got a couple of touchdowns. And the defense did a good job against the Colts. So it was a 24-10 game. I like the Colts though. I like what I see. If they ever get a good quarterback, sky's the limit for that.
It's the Colts. The Colts is one team that I'm going to earmark, and the next team when we
Hmm.
get down to talk about them is the Chicago Bears. That I believe that if those organizations are smart, no matter what they do, they just even if it's considered overpaying. If I was them, I would go after Dak Prescott so
Yes,
hard,
yes,
where I would make it
yes,
difficult for the Cowboys to have to re-sign him.
yes,
And
yes. And I'm
it may sound crazy. I would give him. He's not worth more than Mahomes, but because those two teams are ready right now and just need a quarterback to stabilize their franchises, I would actually pay him more than Mahomes.
and
Just
the sad thing with both of those teams, they play good defense. You rarely see them get scored like 30 points on them. So if you look at today, Baltimore scored a touchdown on defense. They only gave up 17 points offensively. The Bear, if you
Brian said, "What's up, Brian Horton?"
tell B I said what's up. I know we didn't get to the Bears yet. Well, we'll talk about them. But the Colts, they have a good defensive coordinator that is about to become a head coach. That the head coach is good.
Yeah, Frank Reich could
Frank
coach,
Reich could coach.
and you can
He's
see
coach.
that him leaving Wentz and how Wentz has regressed about him not being
Right.
around Wentz them couple years. Like Brian said in one of the statements Brian made was like the Broncos are still trying to find that personality in their running team. They're
Right.
running
Right.
the years. The Broncos what hurt them is the big fella got hurt in the beginning in the preseason, man.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
sometimes you could lose a multiple players and still be good, but when some players is being so much to a team
Yeah, like
that you could
Von
lose a
Miller.
lot of players. The little guys in the chat, he said, but they didn't win.
Here he go. Here he go.
I guess he's talking about the Colts.
No, they didn't win, but I just like I like the way they play football. They have good defensive players. They have a good offensive line. So, Baltimore got the win today. Only thing about Baltimore I will worry about is their passing game. They got to get that passing game going. They have to get that passing game going.
So the team that I picked earlier to beat the Chiefs, Panthers and the Chiefs. I don't know what it was. I just had a feeling. I felt like the Panthers would beat the Chiefs today. They came up short. They missed a big field goal at the end.
Right.
It's just something about the Chiefs that they do got the track team. I just don't feel like they have that special piece this year. I feel like for some reason they're gonna wind up getting knocked off by
The
somebody.
Chiefs are basically going to have to outscore teams because their defense is not that great. And if you saw what Teddy Bridgewater and them did today, they put 31 points on them. Matt Rule does a great job, and the little bit of time he's had with that team, he's done an excellent job with the Panthers. They play hard. They had a lead, and then they got down, and then they came back, and they had a chance to win the game at the end, but the field goal was so long that they didn't get it. But
Yeah,
the Chiefs are the Chiefs, man. Mahomes gonna put 30 points on the board every game. He's just gonna do that.
It's almost funny because it's like doing what we doing now, and me, you, and the little guy was football fans.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of love just watching football so much that you start looking at other teams and be like, oh, I'm building because I know that Carolina is one of the teams that Dwayne loves. Matt Rule, he's a program builder.
He does.
So you wind up rooting for him, but even though that's not your team that you root for.
Dwayne,
and the little guy said the Chiefs are kings. They still are kings.
But
he's right.
He's right. But Matt Rule, I know Dwayne always wanted Matt Rule for the Cowboys, but you're starting to see, what he did in college at Temple, and then he went to Baylor and built those programs up, and now look what he's doing in 1 year at the Panthers. You could tell he knows what he's doing. So the future's bright for Matt Rule in Carolina.
Yeah. I really think Carolina is going to be an interesting team going forward.
No, yes they are.
And it's every time we watch what you call it, the daggone Thornhill always making a play, always doing something, and it's like, oh, we couldn't get him. The team that we root for. Now we got the little guy said he's coming in. He's coming.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Tell him welcome.
We got the New York Football Giants beat the Washington team. Once again, another close game, division game. Always close games. And I said to the little guy earlier, I believe the Giants' defense is getting good. I believe their defense is rounding into shape, and they seem to be playing pretty well. Sir, we need to be able to see you, sir.
Yeah.
I'm in mourning.
So we're on the New York Football Giants and the Washington team, sir. What do you
I
guys
have to
got to say?
I have to stay in the dark after Galbert Gilbert came up short.
We'll
Um,
get to that game.
Let me tell you something about the Washington football team and the New York Giants. I've never been so nervous in my life watching a football game. I want Alex Smith to retire. It's
Yeah.
nerve wracking. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking this man's going to get hit in his leg and his life's going to be over.
Yeah.
Sort of like mine.
Shut up.
Melancholy.
But
Craig, we're gonna let him just rant right now. But we got anything to sum up with the team with Washington and the New York Giants?
I know Giants got out to a big lead. I will say both these teams they play hard. Dwayne talk about Smith from Washington. He passed for over 300 yards today. I know he had 2 interceptions at the end of the game, but he almost led his team back to a victory. So, but both teams, I must say, they play hard.
You could clearly see that they're forming an identity. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
interesting. Next, we got the Texans and the Jaguars. Division game, man, and this is the teams that are fighting for them top 5 picks. And unfortunately, Texas don't have a pick, and Miami has their pick, so they need to be very, very mindful of giving the Dolphins that first pick. So they, you know. So I mean, the Texans won. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Ain't nothing to say.
Dwayne, you muted yourself.
You muted.
Oh, okay.
Did you have something you wanted to say, sir?
Deshaun Watson, man. You know?
Okay, we're just gonna move right along. On to the 4 o'clock games, Craig. And while we were on
Did
the
you do?
phone,
You didn't do the Bears and Titans.
oh my bad, because I skipped over them. It's I can't pick every week. I cannot pick the Bears when they're on the road. It's nothing against their team, but their offense just cannot score points on the road, and you cannot survive in NFL like that. No matter how good your defense is, they're going to give up points. Their defense is excellent, but they're on the field too much, and they give up big plays. And once again, the Titans got healthy. They needed the Bears to get healthy.
Yeah. Bears defense gave up 17 points and they lose 24-10. And it's the same old song as Dwayne always say, no
All around the
offense. No offense. They have no quarterback.
world.
And like you said earlier, and like Dwayne been talking to me about, I would pay heaven and earth to get Dak Prescott to Chicago. I would pay.
Craig, it's like,
Have-
and I know people may think I'm crazy for saying it, but for them and the Colts,
Yes.
I would overpay for him
Yes.
because
They
he
need-
will literally solidify their franchises and they should make it hard for Dallas not be able to get him,
That's
not be able to re-sign him.
I mean, Dwayne, you always tell me on the phone, Colts and Bears, two cities that need a quarterback, and they got a quarterback in Dallas that they can use because they already have the defense. If you add that Prescott to one of those two, they instant Super Bowl contenders. Instant.
Yeah. My life is over.
Nah,
So
shut
we're
up.
gonna move to
teams
the.
I root for are gonna have me jump off a balcony some damn way.
We're gonna move to the 4 o'clock game.
Oh, you didn't ask me about the Bears and the Titans.
Raiders Chargers.
You didn't ask me about the Bears and the
Let
Let
Titans.
them talk about. Let them talk about the.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Derrick Henry.
Okay, that's it. Raiders Chargers.
Listen, man.
Justin Herbert. That's his name, Dwayne.
Yeah, Herbert.
Okay, I said.
I mean, listen. He brought his team down there. He put his team in a position to win. The kid just didn't catch the ball, man. And another heartbreaking close loss for Anthony Lynn. His wife better get on that plane back to New York and ask for NBC for her job back, because he's fired.
Yeah,
He's gone. And he
It's kind of crazy. Yeah, he shouldn't be, but it's kind of crazy because Anthony Lynn. We're gonna discuss it one day in one of our shows how the African American coaches don't really get an extended chance to rebuild the franchise. So most likely he's gonna get fired. Definitely from that uh, out of whack organization. So we're gonna discuss that when one of our shows one day how these coaches like Vance Joseph and these guys don't get a chance. So we got Dolphins Cardinals. Me and Dwayne's
No,
sleeper team, the Dolphins.
no, no. What did I
What?
say this morning? What did I say?
What you say?
What
I
do you
said this
say?
would be the game of the day. Did I
Oh
not?
yeah, you said it'd be the
Yeah.
game of the day. A lot of scoring. Uh, you
And
know,
what else did I say?
Kyler Murray, man.
And Tua, I trust.
Yeah, they had a nice wide open game, man. It's interesting to watch the quarterbacks throw the ball all over the field. Craig, you got something to say about this game?
No, just it's a good offensive game, 34-31. I don't agree with the last call. Let Kyler Murray get the 1 yard for the first down. I can't hear you doing you on mute.
He's muting himself, and
Oh,
that's the crazy part.
sorry.
What ha- what
I have
happened,
to I
Dwayne?
have the
I
soundboard ready
agree
for
with
your
you.
stuff.
I
Like,
agree
come
with
on,
you.
let Kyler Murray get a first down, man. Like, I don't get these teams. I don't
Dwayne, what you say, Dwayne?
You really want to
You
know what I said?
yes, I really want to know what you said, Dwayne.
Excuse me, FCC and the algorithm. But what I said when I muted myself all these times was fuck Donald Trump.
Moving right along. Moving right along to the game of the week, according to CBS. The undefeated 7-0 Pittsburgh Steelers traveled to Dallas, play the 2-6 Dallas Cowboys. We watched this game together, like we usually do. Since last year, when the Cowboys played the Jets, this is something that we do. When Craig is not off from working, we usually watch this game together.
Right.
Got a fourth string quarterback, guys, and he looked very comfortable in the pocket, but they just don't have what it takes. Too many mistakes, man. The special teams they won. Defense they didn't have enough. They didn't make the right plays at the right time. And offense, you got to at least win two phases, man, to try to win a game. And they only won one phase.
I try not to be a guy that blames officiating, but there was some very questionable calls late in the game. Listen, I know Jalen Smith got up around the head, but come on, man, you don't call that. And then, not saying we was gonna win the game, but late in that drive, T.J. Watt grabbed and pulled Garrett Gilbert's face mask on third down and no call.
Yeah. Um.
I want to recount.
Listen, Dallas had a chance to win that game. They played hard, but the Steelers made the plays at the end.
I don't know, Craig. I don't know.
54 for Cowboys.
Yeah,
His
he
name is
can't be on the
Jalen
field.
Smith. He's a nice story, you know. He recovered from a catastrophic injury with ligament damage and all that. He swipes, you know. He's clear eye vision. He sucks, folks. 54 with the star on his helmet is god awful.
I will say this for the Cowboy fans.
Uh huh.
The best player on their defense today was Gallimore.
Yeah, he played well.
He was collapsing that pocket when he was in the game. Played well, played with some strength. Tank played decent, and we saw a Tyrone Crawford sighting today.
Who'd you
But,
have to say?
but
Please.
Gallimore played well. What did you say,
Please.
Dwayne?
Please. Randy Gregory played well today.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Played very well. I think Alden Smith has hit the proverbial brick wall, which he hasn't played in 5 years. My biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys And when you have a quarterback like Ben Roethlisberger, he's going to take advantage of it. We're playing our corners 13 yards off the ball. Like, they're 13 yards off the ball. We played Savion Tap Dance Glover.
I knew you.
His real name is Savion Smith. But that man was at corner today, man. Did you think they wasn't going to pick on him on that last drive and score on him? It was like stealing from a baby, man. We're not a good team. Where you have a fourth-string quarterback and you're still running offense like 4 is your quarterback.
Yeah.
You're putting this guy in empty sets with Terrence swinging doors still.
You know, it's funny. It's funny that you said that because last week's game plan was perfect for this quarterback. This week's game plan was like you thought you thought you had an NFL starter that started 70 games already. Yeah. Last week's games plan was perfect for this quarterback, but they didn't run it. And it's like, you know, you guys always tell me the scheme that these guys is out. Dwayne been saying it for years that these coaches, they're too smart for their own good. They just don't know how to keep it simple, and they always think. I'm not saying Kellen Moore called a bad game, but it was bad with this personnel. I'm sick of seeing empty sets, and I know that this is the way in college football, and these guys used to 7-on-7. This guy never started an NFL football game, and you don't have nobody chipping.
Yeah.
You got literally, and I hate to say it, the Cowboys on a 5th-string tackle. Literally, this guy might be the worst tackle that I've ever seen at football.
Well, I got a little bit of a problem with Zach Martin, okay? So, Cam Irvin gets hurt for one play, and you have no problem going to right tackle. Our offensive line would be infinitely better if Zach Martin will go ahead and bite the bullet and play right tackle and let Connor McGovern play right guard. We've seen for 8 weeks now that Terrence still can't do it unless you got a tight end over there chipping or you got a running back on his side.
Right.
The minute we go empty and that boy is on an island by himself, you better pray. Now, here's a question I have for you two, and then we'll move on. There's 2 more things I want to say about this game. One thing about the game and one thing about going forward for the Cowboys. Though I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm a big Mike Nolan fan, but there are at least 3 times at every Pittsburgh Steelers game where you find yourself saying, what the hell is Mike Tomlin doing? How the hell do you not kick that field goal?
To be up 8.
Goes for it on 4th down and 1. You kick the field goal. The Cowboys shouldn't even have an opportunity to come down the field and make that game that close.
With a more experienced quarterback, and the Steelers could have lost.
Yeah.
And those type of things that prevents a team or a coach like Mike Tomlin to being, as we say, the old New England, or being that's where the quarterback should have leeway to go to the coach like, yo, let's kick the field goal.
But
because the chances of Dallas getting down there and scoring a touchdown and getting a 2-point conversion is almost slim to none.
Kick the field goal. You gave
and
not a chance.
But see, this is this new age football. Like they playing Madden on TV. Why go for it? Like again, y'all make a great point. Kick the field goal, go up 8. You put the pass rush on them with the backup lineman, and then you go for it. You get it. I will say this: there's a couple of throws on that last drive that Gilbert made. Those were pro throws.
Listen, Zeke Elliott got to catch that ball on the sideline.
Yeah. And you put your team where they up there looking like they're about to pray to God for a victory because they weren't that far away.
No. So
yeah, the Cowboys was actually probably if they had probably had that minute left, they probably would have won the game, which is crazy.
Cowboys going to the bye week, right? Who do you start?
Right.
After the
I'm gonna be honest with you. Start Gilbert the rest of the season
I think so too.
because not only that, because he's so young that this is who you might want to groom to be
So maybe
your
your
backup
backup.
going forward.
Yeah,
Maybe
because
your
he did show one thing he do. He will run the football. He ran more than damn Dak Prescott.
Listen,
Number
I'm
one.
not gonna sit here and have anybody say anything against Rain Dakota Prescott.
No. What I'm saying is, Dwayne, there's been plenty of times we watch these games and we ask Dak to run and he sits in the pocket. At least he gets the first down. I give him credit for that. But he's somebody you can groom for the rest of the year for your backup for next year.
He may be the starter next year because if I'm Rain Dakota Prescott, I'm on to Chicago. If I'm Rain Dakota Prescott, I'm on to Chicago. If I'm Rain Dakota Prescott, I'm on to Chicago. If I'm Rain Dakota Prescott, I am on to Chicago. You win.
Woo, fellas.
But I do agree with y'all. He should start for the rest of the year. He gets the bye week.
Can Mike Nolan just get out of his system, man? Can he get out of his system? You got Cowboys running around pre-snap, not knowing. There was one play where this team was so confused that Jalen Smith dropped into free safety.
You know, one thing I noticed, and it's funny because you think about the new players at on the Cowboys defense, and you don't really got new players. You got a couple guys that's been in the system been on the team in a while. And I cannot sit and tell you and Craig about any player that we've drafted that looks better than the last couple of years. Now Tristan Hill was on his way to looking better, but honestly,
what was that?
You can't say who's doing well. That's my cat, sir.
Oh, I was about to say.
He's usually. The funniest thing is that he's usually very quiet. You very rarely hear him during any broadcast, sir.
Yeah, you know what he said when he meowed like that.
Yeah, he said shit. He tired of the Cowboys. Moving right along.
You know what he said?
What'd he say? You're right.
Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Right,
what'd you say, Dwayne? What'd you say? You about to lose your job.
You about to lose your job. Yo,
but anyway,
listen, real quick before the kickoff, who we like? Quick preview for kickoff.
I like the Bucs tonight.
Bucs.
You like the Bucs tonight? You like the Bucs tonight, Craig?
Yes.
And Craig, according to Dwayne, we don't even have to talk about tomorrow's game because we did the preview this morning, and tomorrow's game is a wash. Tomorrow might be the day that you might want to take
for tomorrow. What's the song? Adam Gates. You were about to lose your job. You were about to lose your job. Listen, Antonio Brown catches 2 touchdowns tonight. 2. 81 gets an end zone twice tonight. I like the Bucs, man. I like the Bucs.
Hey, with that, we're gonna close the show. Everybody have a blessed night. Dwayne, get some rest. We'll talk tomorrow morning, fellas.
I'm going.
All right. Have a good night.
What'd you say, Dwayne?
2 hours of work real quick.
Oh, my God.
All right. Thank you, boss.
Craig, he said he's going to work. He's going to get to it. All right. All right.
Dwayne crazy.
With that, we're going to close the show. Everybody have a blessed and safe night.
All right. Have a good night.